In the top stories, Labour Minister and NUPW hold lengthy talks over airport pay dispute. Supporters say BLP's work being downplayed in independence celebrations, and Jalon Samuel and Dorsett take the Sandy Lane Gold Cup. Welcome to Nation News for Monday, March 7th, 2016. I'm Natasha Beckles. Representatives of the National Union of Public Workers and Airport Management were up to news time still locked in talks with Labour Minister Senator Dr. Esther Bayers-Suckow. Ms. Bayers-Suckow met with airport officials for just under an hour before engaging the NUPW for more than 4 hours. The two sides then came together for joint talks around 3:30 p.m. Chief Labour Officer Vincent Burnett and other senior staff of the Ministry of Labour are also taking part in the meetings. The dispute surrounds the 3.5% pay increase, which the NUPW says is owed to airport workers. Talks broke down last Monday when the two sides met with Mr. Burnett for close to 3 hours. Barbados Labour Party supporters are charging that government is deliberately attempting to downplay the contributions of the party as the country celebrates its 50th anniversary of independence. At a meeting at the St. Michael's School on Sunday, supporters spoke heatedly about the slight and demanded that the party's leadership mount a vigorous defense. Caretaker for St. Michael's South Central, David Gill, accused the Frondell Store administration of using the celebrations as a guise for the start of the Democratic Labour Party's election campaign. He said some of government's messages were misleading.
Out of that 50, we had 24, 10 and 14. And it then had 26. Good. Out of our 14, we must have had 2 years of no growth. We made the country grow. Don't tell me that a fairy godmother is come and make your country grow whenever the Barbados Labour Party is in power. And that another one, I don't know, would be the opposite of a fairy godmother, something else, would come and do something otherwise to stop the dams. Now, 5 years of Sandy Ford's regime was austerity measures, and this country went back the value. We went very back, especially in the last 4 to 5, 6 years of Sandy Ford. So you got to take out that 6 years. Tell you how to argue with them. Take away 6 from 26, left 20.
40 Panamanian students will be spending the next 4 months learning English at the University of the West Indies Cave Hill campus. Some of them are descendants of Barbadians who migrated to work on the Panama Canal more than 100 years ago. This was revealed by Principal Professor Udine Barreto during a welcome ceremony on Monday. She said the English as a Second Language program was part of a wider government-led initiative aimed at improving relations between Barbados and Panama. As Barbados prepares to join the rest of the world in celebrating International Women's Day on Tuesday, calls are being made for greater gender equality. Head of the University of the West Indies Institute for Gender and Development Studies, Dr. Charmaine Crawford, said there is still a lot of work to be done to address the exploitation and oppression of girls. Addressing an awards ceremony for women who made outstanding contributions to their communities, she highlighted physical and sexual violence, sexual harassment, and poverty as ongoing concerns. Minister of Social Care, Steve Blackett, said women must have equal access to leadership positions.
As we celebrate our 50th anniversary of independence, we can proudly say that in our country, women's equality has made significant strides over the decades. There is still, however, much more that can be done to increase women's equal access to leadership positions, particularly at the political level.
12 women drawn from the 11 parishes were recognized during the event, along with founder of Jabez House, Shamel Rice, who received the Youth Award. A university lecturer is not satisfied with the level of service being offered by Caribbean Airlines. Dr. Caroline Cooper, a lecturer at UWI Mona, says the average trip takes too long, crisscrossing too many countries.
Caribbean Airlines picking us up in Jamaica taking us to St. Martin, then wickedly carrying us down to Trinidad before them bring us back up to Barbados, and picking us up 6 o'clock in the morning to carry us to Trinidad, to carry us back is up to Kingston. It is wickedness. And I don't know why we are sitting down and not protesting. Wickedness of the highest order, just to make life easy for the Trinidadians because them have the money and I feed them airline.
She was speaking at the second Kamau Brathwaite lecture at UWI Cave Hill. Making reference to the writings of several Caribbean authors, including Mr. Brathwaite, Dr. Cooper said their works celebrate the common struggle against racism and colonialism. In sport, jockey Jalon Samuel and unfancied bay horse Dorsett upset the farm books to win the Sandy Lane Barbados Gold Cup over the weekend. Dorsett wasn't a big pick for many, but Samuel rode a crafty race, holding his monk to the rails before making his move in the final turn. Here's a look from the half-mile mark.
Then watch your own Barber next. Dorsett going up on the inside as they go towards the half-mile marker. They round the far turn ahead of the hill towards their departure point. And Mario Pino and War Envoy have a short lead. On the outside, Just a Fashion is next. On the inside, Sarah's Creek. Patrick Husbands has set. Watch your own Barber down for the drive. The one circling on the outside is Dante David. Also, there's Dorsett as they race towards the quarter pole. 6 and 1, 12 and 3. And the race is on. They put the pedal to the metal. And it's War Envoy, Mario Peter asking for another quarter mile. On the outside, here's Watch Your Own Bubba with the rattle. Dorsett's going to split horses. And they're homeward bound in the Gold Cup. And Watch Your Own Bubba and Dorsett are going to match strides. Dorsett on the right-hand drive. It's going to draw off now to open up by 2, by 3. Dorsett, Jalon Samuel celebrates 2016 Gold Cup. Goes to Dorsett and Robert Pierce and Jalon Samuel on the Madu pair of father and son. Watch Your Own Bobber is second. On the inside, War Boy was third.
Watch Your Own Bobber with Patrick Husbands was second and Mario Pino on War Envoy third. Father and son Steve and Alan Madu became the first Trinidadians to win the race in 28 years.
Actually, when we started getting ready for the Gold Cup, we didn't plan to actually represent Trinidad. We actually said from the start that we was representing Barbados because our trainer is from Barbados and our jockey is from Barbados. Jalon riding with us since he's 16 years old. And I honestly think that much people in Trinidad didn't even know that we were sending a horse. And actually Dorsett is not going to Trinidad, he's remaining in Barbados. So that's the whole thing about it. We're just so happy we have other horses here and we love racing in Barbados.
Barbados Davis Cup team suffered a humiliating 5-0 defeat to home side Ecuador over the weekend. Playing on the unfamiliar clay surface, Barbados were up against it from the time number 1 seed Darian King lost his singles match. The team's focus will now shift to September's tie against Dominican Republic to avoid relegation to Group 2. And finally, 2 brothers who bought Powerball lottery tickets in Florida at the same time both won. But while James Stockler scooped the $291 million jackpot after entering with 2 others, his sibling Bob won just $7. Luckily for Bob, James is the generous type, and he said his brother will not have to worry about anything. James opted to receive his money in a lump sum payment, while Bob hasn't revealed details about how he plans to spend his $7. And that's Nation News for Monday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Tuesday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thank you so much for joining us.